The debate over student hairstyles and school discipline has sparked powerful responses from both religious and social leaders, exposing deeper tensions about identity, authority, and historical accountability in St. Lucia's education system. Archbishop Gabriel Malzaire, in a statement dated September 19, 2025, expressed concern over the Ministry of Education directive that prohibits schools from sending students home over their hairstyles. He argues that while the move is being presented as progressive, it may in fact signal a lowering of discipline standards in schools, something he believes could undermine student character formation. In sharp contrast, UNICEF Champion for Children Taj Weekes has issued a strong rebuttal to Malzaire's statement on the recent deportment policy, calling it hypocritical and disconnected from historical realities, criticizing the church for addressing student discipline while failing to acknowledge its own role in slavery, colonialism, and child abuse.
To lecture the nation about lowering standards, while ignoring the church's role in slavery, colonialism, and sexual abuse of children, is hypocrisy of the highest order. You argue that discipline in schools is under strain, but much of that strain comes not from the children's hair, but from the generational trauma created by the very systems the church helped to enforce. For centuries, the church's rules were used to justify slavery, suppress culture, and impose shame on black bodies.
He argues that the challenges in schools stem not from hairstyles, but from generational trauma caused by systems the church once upheld, labeling natural black hair as disorderly. He says perpetuates colonial ideals and shames children rather than teaching them true respect.
Taught to obey, but never empowered to heal. Is it any wonder that discipline falters when so many of our people are still recovering from the weight of such history? The issue here is not order versus chaos. It is power. When black children are told that their natural hair is disorderly or distraction, they're not being taught respect. They're being taught to be ashamed of themselves. And that is not discipline.
Weekes asserts that the real issue is power, not discipline, and calls on the church to show leadership by confronting its own past and dismantling outdated oppressive standards. He concludes by insisting that children deserve affirmation, not judgment rooted in historical injustice.
If the Catholic Church truly wishes to lead, let it begin with honesty by acknowledging its complicity in slavery, confronting its record on abuse, and rejecting the colonial standards it once sanctified. Until then, sermons about hair and discipline ring hollow. Our children deserve schools that build character by affirming who they are, not by repeating the chains of history disguised as standards.
In his statement, the Archbishop clarified that his stance was not discriminatory against natural hair or cultural identity, but rather against the promotion of extreme hairstyles that distract from the learning environment. He stresses that true freedom exists within boundaries and that discipline is essential to nurturing creativity and community. Archbishop Malzaire emphasized that education should nurture both academics and personal discipline, including values like self-respect, neatness, and moderation. Weekes, on the other hand, points out the core issue isn't about maintaining order or preventing chaos, it is about power. Labeling black children's natural hair as disorderly or distracting doesn't teach them respect, it teaches them to feel ashamed of who they are. This isn't true discipline, it is a continuation of colonial thinking that upheld whiteness as the ideal of respectability. For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Austinay.